Brothers and sisters, if you're trying to do something that nobody around you, nobody in your current life is probably ever going to attempt, if you're doing something that is seen as abnormal, unsafe, risky, there's really not going to be all that much support for a long time. People don't applaud when you're in the process. People applaud after you've already accomplished, after you've already achieved, after you already have the things that you dreamed of accomplishing and of achieving and of obtaining. Early on, when it's just you with a vision that you want to make into reality, nobody else can see that. Nobody else truly understands your viewpoint. Nobody understands, where you're coming from, why you're so passionate about certain things, why you just continue to throw time and energy, waste time and energy on this thing that is just a hobby. It's never going to truly amount to anything. It's tough. It's rough. You got stressful days. You got anxiety-filled days. You question constantly, are you making the right choice? Are you making the right decisions? Are you spending your time in the proper way? And oftentimes it feels like you aren't. It feels like, these people are right. It feels like everybody else is correct to, not pay attention and just kind of assume that, this is just a period of time that, eventually it'll phase out. Eventually you'll realize that, what you're spending your time on currently is a waste, and, you should just get back to the more normal ways of spending time, the more accepted, the more socially normalized and accepted things that we typically do spend our time on. Those around you will not like that you are elevating to a new level, a different level. You don't waste a lot of your time. You're always executing. You're always doing something to push you along, to move the needle forward. And they don't like this because they spend a lot of time not being productive. They waste a lot of time. We spend a lot of time in front of the TV, in front of the computer, in front of the phone. And when I say we, I mean we as, in general, as human beings. We spend a lot of time doing this. But when you stop spending a lot of your time doing that, and instead you're focusing as much time as possible into improvement, into bettering yourself, into self-education, into whatever is going to objectively advance you further in this life and get you closer to living a life that you truly want to live, gets you closer to living a life that you feel like you're actually truly going to enjoy. Once you start doing these things, the people who are very comfortable with taking it easy and relaxing all the time 24/7 are going to start looking at you kind of weird. They're going to start expressing that, hey, you're different. What's going on? Why are you changing? Are you too good for me? Are you too good for us? These things are going to start happening, and just accept that, hey, I'm a new person. I've changed. Other people have not changed yet. 99% of people are going to maintain that victim mindset, that victim mentality. 99% of people are always going to blame others. They're never going to take full responsibility and accountability for the outcomes of their life. They're never going to change their diet. They're never going to accept the fact that physical activity is not only beneficial, but a necessity for a long, happy, healthy, fulfilling life. That's okay. It is what it is. All we can do is spread, our love, our joy, our happiness, and hope for the best for these people, and encourage them. Understand that we can't force anybody to do anything. At the end of the day, we can't force change upon anybody else. If you're still listening to this, then you have realized and understood that change is the way forward. That constant failure is the way forward, because we can't really look at failure in the frame of, oh gosh, I failed, I messed up, I suck, this must not be for me, I should probably quit doing this thing, I should probably never try this again. Please do not frame your failures as that. Failure is learning. Failure is gaining more knowledge. Failure is getting better. Failure is getting closer to taking that one action that is going to be a win, and it's going to be a massive win. Every failure is one step closer to your dream life, achieving your goals. Okay, so we can't be afraid of failure, because that's, again, where we grow. It's where we change. It's where we learn. It's where we become better. It's where we become more capable, etc., etc., etc. Failure is key. Failure is important. Failure is necessary. If you're in that frame, if you understand that is true, that is true objective fact, just keep going, just keep grinding, just keep pushing. I understand it's hard, it's difficult. All these different things are giving you pushback, and you feel like it would just be so much easier if you had never embarked on this journey maybe in the first place, if you had just stayed lazy and comfortable like everybody else. Don't allow those thoughts to take over, because you know the other side now. You've experienced it. And if you do try to go back, you're going to be more miserable than you ever were before. So what do you do now? What do you do instead? Double down, dude. The harder you work, the quicker you're going to see results, the faster things are going to change, the faster you're going to keep leveling up. I'm going to butcher it, but Alex Hormozi talks about making decisions much, much quicker than the average person. The reason why successful people seem to move so quick, it takes most people, say, a week to make a decision. Well, if you can make that same decision in one day and then continuously make those same decisions in a day instead of 7 days, you're going to be exponentially further ahead of those. Again, I'm butchering it, but essentially make decisions quicker and stick with them longer instead of taking forever to make a decision and then almost immediately changing up your ideas, changing up your perspective, changing up what you want to do. So you're in the lonely chapter, you're in no man's land, trudging through the wilderness. It's scary and it's lonely. You worry if the choices that you are making are correct, and you have no real way of actually knowing if they are correct or if they are good or if they are bad. But again, if you're receiving a lot of pushback from the people that knew you previously, same people in your life just revealed a new version of yourself. It's all right. People say you've changed because they don't know how to say you've grown. And people are afraid to admit that you've grown because they're admitting that they have not. Because while you're spending time cementing all of these new habits, these healthy habits, a new workout routine, a better relationship with your food, journaling and keeping a planner and developing a closer relationship with God, things like this, and they're continuing to eat the same crap foods, and they're continuing to be sedentary, and they're continuing to have false idols and entertain the things of this world, the temptations of this world. You're growing better, you're growing stronger, you're growing more competent, confident, and capable. And when other people feel you and see you improving yourselves, it's painful for them, and a gap starts to form, and they start to feel, whether subconsciously or consciously, in all the areas that you're improving, it is essentially pointing out the shortcomings that they do have. And, we're not on the self-improvement journey to make others feel bad. You improving shows other people that they can improve as well. The only issue is with that is that 99% of people don't actually want to improve. They don't want to do that self-work. They don't want to do the hard things. They don't want to develop discipline. They don't want to do any of these things. They just want to stay comfortable. And at the end of the day, that's okay. If you're still watching at this point in the video, I trust that you're confident in the things that you want to do with this life. You're confident in the ways you want to live life. So don't let other people's opinions about you affect that, especially people who are not actively working to change their lives. If you take a look at somebody's life, an overview, a summary of somebody's life, a little quick 1 to 2 minute summary of what their family life is like, what their relationships are like, what their physical health is like, all that stuff. If you couldn't even fathom switching roles with that person, like whatever lifestyle they live, whatever things are like for them just sounds utterly miserable to you, and like you couldn't imagine living a life similar to that, their opinion really shouldn't affect you, and what they think about you, what they say about you should not faze you. Use it as motivation, use it as fuel, and realize that that is actually a measuring stick of success, especially early on in your journey, early on in trying to do something different, trying to do something new, trying to do something that's outside of the norm. Disagreement and pushback need to be accepted and almost need to be celebrated. Thanks for checking this out, guys. I truly appreciate it. Let me know what you think down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're taking care of yourselves. And I truly hope you're pushing yourself to be 1% better every day. That being said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.